Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm DJ Sixsmith. You're watching The Sit Down. Your second act's brand new book from this woman, Patricia Heaton. Patricia, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm here in LA, and it's a very pleasant place to ride out the pandemic.
I like it. What have you been up to these last few months? You picked up any new hobbies, just trying to
Yeah.
survive? Where are you at right now?
Yes, no. I was producing an independent feature comedy in Oklahoma City, my husband directing, when the pandemic hit. And in fact, what happened was, I don't know if you remember this, because now the beginning of the pandemic seems so long ago, right? Time has like done this weird thing during the pandemic. But there was that basketball player, Rudy Gobert,
Yeah.
who was sort of making fun of it and touching all the microphones. And then he came down with it. He was staying in our hotel in Oklahoma City.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's right. It was all in OKC. Wow.
Yes, and we were in a restaurant right outside the hotel, and we're watching the TV screen at the restaurant. And we're like, oh no! And they had to evacuate the hotel. We all had to leave. They put us up in another place, and then we had to shut down with 5 days left to film.
That's
so
crazy.
we've edited what we have, and now we're waiting to go back, hopefully in November, to do the last 5 days. So we'll see how that goes. So then I came home. 2 of my sons were working on the movie, so they came home with us. Another son came home. So now I went from being an empty nester to having 3 of my 4 sons back, which has actually been quite fun. And I think the first 2 weeks of the pandemic, it was kind of like Netflix and chill. I was just binging on TV shows and eating terribly. And then I got sick of myself. And so I started doing keto and swimming every day and walking around this reservoir out here in LA and trying to eat better. And then I also took up Spanish classes on Duolingo. So I've been doing that every day. And I'm on like my 100-day streak. I never miss it. And I started doing piano a little bit, but I let that drop because I realized that's a bigger commitment. So I will go back to it. Yeah, so that's sort of, I've been trying to really keep busy. I also found places to volunteer at. So I've been down on Skid Row handing out hygiene kits and in some homeless camps. And then there's a wonderful church here called the Dream Center where they did 95 days of drive-through food bank pickup. And then when California started opening again, they stopped it. But now that we're shut again, they're starting it up again. So they're really helping the community. So I've been keeping pretty busy and also enjoying myself.
Well, I think all this speaks to the fact that you're somebody who thinks really intentionally about what you're doing, and also you think about what the next chapter of your life is going to be. And that's the whole point of this book and all the stories we hear about it. So when did you really start to think, okay, like the acting thing has been great, but I want to get into producing film. I want to be a screenwriter. Maybe I'm going to take a class for UCLA online. Like, where does that all begin for you?
Yeah, I like change and I like to keep growing. I don't want to ever get complacent. So I think once my boys left the house, excuse me, I thought I have more opportunity now to be able to do things. I had started working with World Vision, which is a wonderful charitable organization, does a poverty relief amongst many other things, and biggest provider of clean water in the world. So I've been traveling with World Vision over the last 5 years in Africa, Jordan, various places. So that had been kind of a start of me kind of branching out a little bit. And producing this movie has been kind of a new thing for me, doing it from the ground up. And it's very scary. I write in the book, I'm sitting in this hotel room in Oklahoma City and we're not able to find the location we need. And I'm wondering why I'm putting myself through this at the age of 62. And yet it's been one of the most rewarding experiences, even though we still have to finish the film. And I realized I really love sitting on the other side of the camera and kind of controlling what I'm seeing. Although my husband is directing, so he's really doing it. But we're a very good partnership in that way of working together. So I just think it started from when I was little, growing up in Ohio, always feeling like there's something out there that I want to go see and find and experience. And that feeling has never left me, I think, since I was little.
It's the known versus the unknown, and especially in your life, you could have been a journalist just like your dad, or
Yeah,
you go to New York City and throw yourself into this acting thing, and that's
right.
kind of been the story of your life.
Yeah, I mean the acting. I've sort of was born as a performer. I'd always get up in class and sing songs for the class, unprompted, by the way. Nobody asking me to. I'm just volunteering myself. So that kind of was always in me. And I think I talk in the book a little bit about people who are leapers and people who are planners. And I've been both. And my move from Ohio to New York City was definitely a leap. I had not seen the apartment my friend had found. A high school friend asked me to move with her, and I said yes. I quit my restaurant job that day and moved to New York. And didn't know where we were living, didn't have a job, and my dad gave me $800 to go. And so I just went, and that was a big leap. And I figured it out from there. So sometimes you're in a stage in life where the way to change is just to take that leap and figure it out later. Now where I am with responsibilities and other people in my life that I'm responsible to, planning is a much better way to go about things. So, leaping and planning you can use both of those tools to move forward in your life. It just depends where you are in your life, which way would be better to do.
You find a little balance, you figure it out as you go, and you've
Yes.
certainly done that. And the people in your book, they have certainly pulled that off too. So you have all these wonderful stories. It's, football players going to become opera singers. It's people starting pie companies, people helping out their kids with special needs. How did you go about finding these stories and choosing these stories?
Well, I've been very blessed that a lot of the people in the book are personal friends of mine who are truly inspirations. So Udi Bennett started the company Exceptional Minds for people on the autism spectrum to be able to be in computer graphics and to earn a living as computer graphic artists and cleanup artists.